Hello, I'm going to talk about a marriage proposal. Exceptionally, I won't show you the script, but only read it because I think that you want to see me instead of the script. Let's start. Marriage proposal. Exceptionally, I will not go into screen sharing mode because this monologue is addressed exclusively to women, and I think that they want to examine me closely and not look at my speech. They are wrong. My appearance is less important than what I'm going to tell you. Let's be honest. Even though sex can provide some pleasure, I do not think it's an extraordinary thing, and that it must be sought at great expenses. As for money, I consider, like the wise men who preceded me, that it is not worth one of our looks, and that we should never have dug it out, drawn from the mud where it lay. However, we are men, and if we want to reproduce ourselves, sex allows us to reach this goal, not without the act having its charms. As for money, which certainly deserves all our disdain, without it, in the world in which we live, nothing can be accomplished. It is therefore necessary, when one can, to lower oneself and manage it. Speaking of my marriage proposal, without wanting to waste too much time with a woman and possibly a child, I propose, in the case I can find the right partner, to accomplish this exercise. The art of living, philosophy, stoicism also applies to domestic affairs. And thanks to it, I can be a good husband, a good father. So if you have the right qualities, we can work together and do the job honestly. Since I am an economist, I want to address the financial issues. I do not know where you live, how, or from what. And I do not care about that, just like the language you speak. If you do not speak English, French, or German, we will use computer tools that will translate. And our children will have the chance to be bilingual. If you want to understand me, you can understand me. Thanks to technological progress, it's easy. What does it matter, the sky under which you were born? Let's go back to the economic part of the affair. What does a woman cost without a child in a monetary system where I live? At least 30,000 USD per year. This sum is incompressible. You cannot pay less you cannot pay less. The charges are binding on you whether you like it or not. Often you need not 30,000 USD, but 50,000 USD. I speak of a modest woman who is content with little and wishes to have a simple, honest life. Most of the women I know need not 50,000 USD per year, but 100,000 USD per year. That is what you pay for your wife's upkeep, alimony, pension. In the land where I live, a doctor earns 200,000 a year. I divided this sum by 2. So if you live somewhere else, it might be less. But where I live, such are things. Not wanting to negotiate this amount, I have to put on the table out of my capital every year 100,000 USD for my wife. This is not a problem as soon as you have a large enough capital, which allows you to release such sums for your wife. Do not get me wrong, I am not talking about all the household expenses you will incur, but only the one your wife is costing you. Neither real estate, nor your expenses, nor your own maintenance costs are included in this sum. It is just what your wife costs you. You understand that it is a bourgeoise, a luxury woman, that she certainly does not want to face poverty or anything difficult. She wishes the sweet life, the pleasant life, the life of leisure, the one that costs dear and does not put her virtues to the test. She wants a pleasant environment, which in the best case, allows her to be a good mother. And it is not even certain that if we offer her this framework, she will succeed. Well, such are things on earth. Everything is difficult, including being a good mother. However, I believe that if you wish, you can achieve this goal and others much higher. Everything depends on you and the efforts, especially more, you will accomplish. Are you going to work on yourself for the first time in your life so that you can be worthy of yourself, to be a respectable, venerable woman? Neither money nor motherhood will take you there. Working on yourselves allows you to achieve this goal, to improve yourself if you wish. Otherwise, perhaps, without being the best, you manage not to be the worst. Nature, without work, produces a certain result. If you cultivate your gifts, you can achieve much more. Currently, I cannot afford 100,000 USD to my wife per year. It is therefore necessary that she works or that she herself has a capital. Nowadays, women imagine that happiness is work, labor. They cannot be more wrong. However, if you work and earn money, enough to cover at least your expenses, the 100,000 USD you cost per year, or you have capital, the project becomes feasible. You meet the conditions, and I will seriously consider your application. If you are poor and unemployed, explain to me how, from a financial point of view, this thing could be accomplished. It is not that I do not want to spend the 100,000 USD a year for my wife. Money for me is nothing. But today, next to all the expenses I have, I cannot. Tomorrow, maybe, that will be possible. I'll let you know. In case you have capital or you earn enough money to at least be able to pay your maintenance costs, I can, as an economist, explain to you how to reduce the financial risks you are enduring at the moment, and how, if you wish, how to make some of your capital productive so that it produces every year your 100,000 USD and much more. This is, if you know what you are doing from a financial point of view, easier than you imagine. But this requires capital because we are talking about capital gains. So let me just put a small open some buckets and tell you that if you are interested only in my financial advice, I am offering some consultation, and you can go for that. Then we'll talk about how you can reduce the financial risks you are doing right now, or how you could make some of your capital productive so that you make some money. If you are interested in that, look, there's a video called consulting, and you find it also on my Twitter. Let's go back to the script. Now for a moment think. You have capital, or you do make some money. Who are you going to marry? An inept man capable of nothing, slave of all vices, who is afraid of everything and never understood anything, who will be a shame for you and your children. The common, the vulgar of man, or a philosopher, an economist, a man who spends his day working on himself and improving himself, who is no one's slave, free, heroic, great, brave, just and good, against which fortune itself, the most terrible of adversaries, can do nothing. To be frank, I please women. They are mad about me. Not all, of course, just as a beautiful woman never pleases all men, but most appreciate my qualities and the time they spend in my company. I bring them much more than they will ever be able to offer me. Philosophy, the art of living, takes precedence over all other things in life. It makes them all from indifferent or bad, good. You earn much more from having me as a husband than I can from your company. This is not arrogance. It's a simple truth. The wise man, the superior man, the honest man prevails over the vulgar of men, over the common people. And he is extremely rare, such as the phoenix. That said, you could raise to my height, at the heights of the wise. Everything depends on you and the progress you want to accomplish, the level you want to reach. Happiness lies there. If you are interested and you do not want to waste time with a subject without force, without interest, send me your application by email at the following address: Tory.Crypto at gmail.com. You find it on my Twitter, and you will find it also in this text, which I will publish on Medium, in case you did not understand it. Present yourself to me, and since we live under a monetary system, explain to me how you will assume your maintenance cost. If you can do both, we will organize a video conference, and then, if you have the merits of charming each other, a meeting. I look forward to meeting you. To receive your application, there can only be one woman elected, only one woman I choose. The offer is valid until I find that person, or that I changed my mind and no longer want to waste my time with domestic affairs. However, I must add, if you are an extreme leftist feminist who has sworn the death of the fruit of her womb, who hates nothing more than the white father, who feels a deep aversion for humanity, starting with herself, than all races and cultures, it is better not to contact me, even if you were the most beautiful woman, the most intelligent, and the richest. The hope that a healthy thought can be born in your soul must survive. I must be able to turn it into good or prevent you from being ugly, unsightly to yourself. Your soul must resist the attacks it is constantly facing. Thanks for watching this video.